You're listening to Stress-Free German, where we use advanced language learning techniques to get you speaking German the right way, right away.
All right, welcome to Lesson 5 of Stress-Free German. I've got a new image for you. So imagine a wooden bench. On the bench is a woman's handbag and a newspaper. In the background is a church with a large clock on it. So we have 5 elements, all feminine. Bench, bag, newspaper, church, clock. Here's just that first one in German.
Bank.
As always, I'm asking you to be flexible in how you hear and process language. In this case, I want you to recall that the English letters CH can sometimes be a K sound, like in the word chemistry. Okay? Then the English word bench would sound like bank. So say it one more time and see the wooden bench in your mind.
Bank.
Okay, the next word from our image was
Tasche.
here. A bit of wordplay will help us make a connection. So imagine a woman who goes everywhere with her handbag. She takes it to church, she brings it to school, to work. You might say she is really attached to her bag.
Tasche.
She is really attached to her.
Tasche.
So
Tasche.
is a bag. For me, the first image that comes to mind when I hear that word is a woman's handbag, but it's also just a shopping bag. So let's work with those 2 words real quick. Imagine you're walking for a long time and you're wanting to sit down. Your German friend points and says,
Hier ist eine Bank.
"Here is a bench." So you sit for a while and then continue walking, and suddenly she says, "Where is my bag?"
Wo ist meine Tasche?
For this next one, do you remember what else was on that bench? Can you see it?
Zeitung.
That first letter looks like the English Z, but listen to the pronunciation again.
Zeitung.
It's like the English TS, as in what's up.
Zeit. Zeitung.
Zeit. Zeitung.
Here, the word
Zeitung.
is basically saying the time thing, or the thing related to time. Because on its own, the word
Zeit.
is time. It's a good word for a newspaper, right? Think of the New York Times. Again, our new words today are all feminine, so let's try to incorporate the feminine article.
Die.
Ask, where is the newspaper?
Wo ist die Zeitung?
Where is the bench?
Wo ist die Bank?
Where is the bag?
Wo ist die Tasche?
Now, what was in the background behind the bench? Can you see it? Right.
Kirche.
Kirche.
And again, we need to be flexible in how we process words. In English, we have morphed that original German K into a ch. So what was once k has become ch. Right? The German word is,
Kirche,
but English morphed that into a ch sound, church. Ask, where is the church?
wo ist die Kirche?
Where is the bag?
Wo ist die Tasche?
Where is the newspaper?
Wo ist die Zeitung?
All right, you're doing great. Here's our last new word for today. Can you see it in our image? It was a round thing on the church with the numbers 1 through 12 on it. It's an
Uhr,
Uhr,
Those letters look like UHR in English, but listen again.
Uhr,
Is a clock or a watch. And try to see the relation to the English word hour, as in 60 minutes in an hour. So try to ask, where is the clock?
wo ist die Uhr?
Excellent. So these words like
Der, ein, mein, dein.
I've been calling them supporting words. So let's listen to the feminine forms for those. Repeat after our native speaker.
Die, eine, meine, deine.
At the end of each of those is what looks like the English letter E. Listen again.
die, eine, meine, deine.
Well, I have some good news, guys. It's actually great news. These supporting words for feminine nouns don't change when we do something to the noun. Why aren't you celebrating? I mean, this is huge. It's like winning the lottery. Well, winning the grammar lottery. Because when we do something to a feminine noun, the supporting words don't change. Mind you, in other situations, like coming out from some feminine noun, okay, then those supporting words will change. But not in these kinds of phrases. Right? They do not change in the doing something to it form. Okay, so tell a friend, I have your watch.
Ich habe deine Uhr.
I see the church.
ich sehe die Kirche.
Ich sehe die Kirche.
I want a bag.
Ich will eine Tasche.
I'm looking for a bench.
Ich suche eine Bank.
I need a newspaper.
Ich brauche eine Zeitung.
I slipped a new verb in there. Hopefully you are already familiar with it from those comprehensible input videos that you're watching, but if not, here it is again. I need.
Ich brauche.
Ich brauche.
Say, I need an apple.
Ich brauche einen Apfel.
Ich brauche einen Apfel.
Apple is masculine, right? We see it in the park near the man and the dog. Well, needing an apple counts as doing something to it. So
Ein.
became
Einen.
I need a cell phone.
Ich brauche ein Handy.
Ich brauche ein Handy. Handy
Is neuter, and the supporting words for neuter nouns don't change when we do something to them. And again, neither do the supporting words for feminine nouns. Try to say, I need a watch.
Ich brauche eine Uhr.
You're doing great.
And now your tip of the day from Stress Free German.
I wanted to follow up on that idea of using a translator app to evaluate your German speech. And again, it's a decent substitute if you don't know any native speakers, but what you do not want to rely on is one of those AI chatbots to give you language advice. I asked one of those things, give me 10 common nouns in German that are neuter. Nope, couldn't do it. It got like 6 out of 10. And when you correct it, it says, my apologies, languages are hard for me. Yeah, I can tell. But the news isn't all bad. Although the translate functions are definitely unreliable, the image functions are great. And here's how to leverage them. Let's say you've just learned the word for newspaper. You put that word into Google Images and you take a screenshot of the whole thing. So up top in the little search box should be the words,
Die Zeitung.
and then below that you have 6 or 7 images of various German newspapers. Then label the screenshot, in English, the newspaper. How is this useful? Well, that image acts as a digital flashcard. When it's time to practice some vocab, you see the thumbnail titled the newspaper and you try to recall the word. And here's the real tip. If you can't recall it, don't just look at the answer. Instead, cover it up and give yourself just the first letter. That's another golden rule. Always give yourself the smallest hint possible. All right, back to it. Imagine giving a tour of your town. Say, this is the park.
Das ist der Park.
This is the field.
Das ist das Feld.
This is the church.
Das ist die Kirche.
Imagine explaining to a child what various things are. Say, this is a tree.
Das ist ein Baum.
This is a glass.
Das ist ein Glas.
This is a newspaper.
Das ist eine Zeitung.
I see the dog.
Ich sehe den Hund.
Ich sehe den Hund.
I see the house.
Ich sehe das Haus.
I see the bag.
Ich sehe die Tasche.
Tell a friend, I have your juice.
Ich habe deinen Saft.
I have your water.
Ich habe dein Wasser.
I have your watch.
Ich habe deine Uhr.
I'm looking for a refrigerator.
Ich suche einen Kühlschrank.
Ich suche einen Kühlschrank.
I'm looking for a gift.
Ich suche ein Geschenk.
I'm looking for a bench.
Ich suche eine Bank.
If you got all of those, you are doing incredibly well. And if you missed some of those, no problem, we'll get lots more practice. But I would recommend going through these first 5 lessons one more time. Remember, this course is cumulative, so you need to master each lesson before moving on. For today's final topic, let's look at a different verb conjugation. I'm sure you guys noticed early in these lessons that we're only working with the
Ich.
form of verbs. I see the dog, I have your beer, and so on. Well, it's time now to expand on that. Now, if you've been studying German elsewhere, you've likely heard that German has different forms of you depending on who you're talking to. For now, we're only going to be dealing with friends and family, people we would speak informally with. Okay, so a German friend is giving you a tour of his neighborhood. He points to a house and asks,
Siehst du das Haus?
Ja, ich sehe das Haus.
based on just that one example, how might he ask, do you see the park?
Siehst du den Park?
Siehst du den Park?
Did you say,
Den?
after all,
Park.
is masculine, so the supporting words change when we do something to the word. How about, do you see the church?
Siehst du die Kirche?
Siehst du die Kirche?
Let's look at another verb we know, again in this informal you form. What do you think she's asking?
Hast du eine Uhr?
She said, do you have a watch? Can you guess how to ask, do you have a cell phone?
Hast du ein Handy?
How about, do you have a dog?
Hast du einen Hund?
Are we noticing any kind of pattern here at all? Well, yeah, somewhat. If we're saying du, we hear a verb that ends with an st sound, right?
Du siehst. Du hast.
Du siehst. Du hast.
Let's see if that happens with today's new verb. Remember this phrase, I need a watch?
Ich brauche eine Uhr.
Ich brauche eine Uhr.
Any guess on how you might say, yes, you need a watch?
Ja, du brauchst eine Uhr.
Let's review those three do forms. Try to say, do you see a bench?
Siehst du eine Bank?
Remember, with all of these, we are speaking with a friend or a close family member. Ask, do you have a glass?
Hast du ein Glas?
You need a refrigerator.
Du brauchst einen Kühlschrank.
Same three verbs again. Ask, do you see the field?
Siehst du das Feld?
Do you have my water?
Hast du mein Wasser?
You need a bag.
Du brauchst eine Tasche.
One last round. Do you see the window?
Siehst du das Fenster?
Do you have a newspaper?
Hast du eine Zeitung?
You need a shelf.
Du brauchst ein Regal.
You're probably tired of me saying it, but if you're getting most of these, then that's incredible. So keep up the good work and be sure to get the PDF from the site, stressfreegerman.com. And just a quick reminder that the app version of this course is now available for Android and Apple devices. Free, of course, to download. With that out of the way, I'll see you in the next lesson.
To access the listening exercises and download the image for today's lesson, please head over to stressfreegerman.com.